What is up YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and in this video we're going to take a look at the Covert Empowered Iso-8. This was something that I definitely thought was worth covering, and if you're wondering how we got it, anyone who won the Infiltrator Flight Suit should be able to find this in your inventory. It's a great pairing with the Infiltrator's Empowered Armor because you can extend rest and gain combat reflexes. The Covert Iso itself makes you immune to off balance. The counterattack from combat reflexes is now a preemptive counter, and counterattacks gain ignore defense, ignoring the defense stat and penetrating shield effects. It can really be a solid Iso on any infiltrator, and can be equipped on anyone who can use those infiltrator class Iso. We're going to start out by using it in PvE because I believe it works really well with the empowered infiltrator armor, and when you give your agent a protect weapon. To be honest with you, many times in the past I often used an infiltrator agent, especially when farming something like Chapter 12 Mission 2, or even Chapter 12 Mission 5. That's just because there's tacticians in those fights, and with the extra counterattack, it allowed me to clear those missions with even less effort. When it comes to this specific armor, even if there's not a tactician, you still can gain combat reflexes. And you can do this as a free action on your very first turn. So with that extended rest option and the Covert Iso, we should be doing preemptive counters even without an enemy tactician in both PvE and PvP. Alright, so here it is, quick reflexes as a free action, and now we should be doing exactly what we said. Now let's see what happens on the enemy's next attack. First of all, we get a son of a glitch, we protect, but not only are we missing the preemptive counter, we don't get a counter at all. This is something I've noticed with my time spent using the Covert Iso, and I can't even tell you exactly what's causing it. We are facing a ninja, but I don't see any reason why we shouldn't have countered. I mean, we protected just fine, but either way we'll take him out and we'll continue our test. We still have one more wave of this PvE fight, and then we're going to try the Iso out in PvP. So we'll do 2 matches there. Moving on to the second wave, we once again have 2 ninjas and 1 captain. So this time we'll take the ninjas out and see if we can preemptively counter the captain. Honestly though, I've spent more time with this Iso and I don't think the issue is that easy. I'll tell you exactly what I think a little bit later in this video. For now, we're going to attack the last remaining ninja with Daredevil, and following a relentless rapier follow-up, he is knocked out. This time, as the captain tries to attack, we do preemptively counter him, so it did work against the non-ninja. Honestly though, don't focus on that, because there was no reason for it not to work, at least that I could find. And an even bigger issue is, it's happened to me many times before in PvE and PvP. However, as we go into our match, what we're going to do is use Heimdall, who has Farsight, and that says most enemy attacks cannot be stealthy. With him and his level 9, and the fact we're using the Blade of the Guardian and Nurkod, we should have some pretty awesome hits coming our way. And just to further that finest hour theme, we're also using the Neurotrope. For our first match, we're just going to go ahead and take on whoever they give us in our tournament fight. I really don't have any control over these enemies though, so hopefully they give us a good team. Well, it's not the greatest matchup, but we do get to go first with our agent, so we'll use quick reflexes. Then since the enemy agent isn't going next, we'll use the Neurotrope, followed by the Blade of the Guardian. I'm not sure if the enemy agent has any removal, but we're not even going to take the chance. We'll just try to knock him out. And yeah, that was pretty overpowered. We take him down with 1 hit. This is where things get odd though. We don't get a preemptive counter, but we get a normal counter after their hit. Now what everything has led me to believe is that you have a chance to preemptively counter, even though that's not what the Iso says. So hopefully that's a bug and they end up fixing it. Unless that's not the case and I just have no idea what's going on. It honestly does seem like a chance though. And I don't like that because, like I said, that's not what the EISO says. And I don't want it to be a chance, I want it to be guaranteed. Something I can rely on and build around. It does end up triggering though against Doctor Strange and it knocks him out. However, just to do one more test and one more match, we took on the highest rated opponent that they showed us in practice. And this is what we got. I'll be honest with you, they are a very scary team. Especially Mayday. But Victor Mancha can be annoying to try to knock out as well. They also are using an armor with 2 EISO slots, something we don't even have. And I half expected them to be using the Covert EISO, but instead they're using both Hawkeyes and Quicksilvers. Also, by the way, my stamina is so low. It is incredibly low. This also leads me to believe we're definitely going to work our stamina draining team, and that video is going to be coming this week. Meanwhile, we now have our combat reflexes, and so we should be preemptively countering from here on out. Heimdall unfortunately is webbed, and we can't do anything about it, so we just have to recharge. And then we do preemptively hit Mayday, but she's going to web us pretty hard as well. Hopefully our agent doesn't get knocked out because that would defeat the purpose. With our agent now under the effects of Binding Web, Mayday ends up hitting Nurkod. However, this makes her a tactician, and so she will gain extra turns. First though, we have to use the long haul to get rid of those debuffs, and then following that, we're going to use our level 9 to hopefully knock out their agent. First though, it's interrupted, so we'll try one more time, and it's going to be interrupted again. Then luckily we have Farsight kick in, and we do also have the Halting Empowered Iso8, so a chance to preemptively negate counterattacks. I'm not exactly sure what would have happened, but it wouldn't have been good. We're also using the Elite EISO on Heimdall. Now on my agent's turn, all we can do is recharge, and then once the enemy agent goes to attack, we do preemptively hit him once again. And we get a Blade of the Guardian counter so we knock him out. Alright, so this time around we're getting a lot more preemptive counters. It seems to be working as we wanted it to. And by the way, for those of you who are thinking, well, we didn't get this EISO, don't worry because I'm sure that they're going to sell it eventually. Maybe after they come out with all the class-specific EISO rewards. I without a doubt expect them to sell them. It may be only for a limited time, but make sure you save your gold. And first of all, probably get the Elite EISO if you don't have that. But this is another one you may want to look into. As for the amazing Spider-Woman, we did knock her out, and now we're preemptively countering Victor, plus Heimdall halts his attack. This is going to allow our agent to use the Light Fantastic and give ourselves some insurance. After that, we'll go ahead and use Hofund on Victor, and first we do get a Farsight which stops his counter. This move is a pretty high damaging attack, but Victor's apparently going to try to come back to life. Or I should say try not to die. With Nurkod, we're basically going to waste our turn. And then on Victor's turn he hits us with a Zapper, takes a Blade of the Guardian, but of course he refuses to die. We weren't worried at all though because we have the Relentless Rapier and it has Brutal Strike. So that's how this one's going to end, but I want to thank you all for watching, and let you know that we're going to have a Stamina Drain team most likely tomorrow in the next All Hail the King episode. Then we also have a Team Spotlight and Adamantium process for later in this week. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything, and also please leave a like and a comment. Then until next time, good luck and take care.